So it's no longer news that the president has released his ambassadorial nominee list. And so let's take a quick look at some of the names on this list because these are the people that will be representing you, me, and 220 million Nigerians in whatever country they are posted to. In global politics, an ambassador is not just a visitor. They are the mirror of the nation, the voice of the country. They're the first impression people get about Nigeria. So let's talk. The first on that list is Ambassador Ayodele Oke. This is a former DG of the National Intelligence Agency. The man was removed from office after EFCC found $43 million, £37,000 and 23 million naira hidden inside an Ikoyi apartment. He was declared wanted by the EFCC alongside his wife. Yes, the case was later withdrawn, but the scandal remains part of his public identity, and this is one of the persons that is representing us from Nigeria. Second on that list is Femi Fani Kayode, a former minister who has spent almost half of his career in and out of EFCC cases, from the Aviation Intervention Fund to the alleged 4.6 billion fraud tied to campaign funds. Some cases were squashed out in court, yes, but you cannot pretend the cloud has disappeared. These histories follow you, especially in international service. The next on the line is Grace Bent. Most of you might not know her, but she was a former senator. She was arrested for her alleged role in Desiani's 23 billion election fund scandal. Again, not convicted, but the stain is there. Diplomacy requires clean reputation, not names that trend from old EFCC files. Also, just to mention that she has high-profile court cases of defamation, which means her name is already controversial in the public space. And we also have the next in line is Victor Okezie Ikpeazu. Most of you know him. He's a former governor of Abia State. His administration was linked to the ongoing allegations from the money laundering probes to the infamous 10 billion naira airport project that never existed. And now, instead of answering those questions, he's being rewarded with ambassadorial post. Then we move to the next person, Jimo Ibrahim, a billionaire politician with decades of battles around AMCON and multi-billion naira debt recoveries which are tied to Nincon, Arik, and more. Not a simple business misunderstanding. These are controversies that even foreign missions track carefully. And then we move down to Otumba Femi Pedro, former deputy governor of Lagos State under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This man was impeached for gross misconduct by the Lagos House of Assembly. Yes, although he was later pardoned, but impeachment is not something you sweep under the carpet. And then, of course, the one that shocks everybody, Reno Omokri, a man publicly known for lies, propaganda, online deceit, and constant misinformation. So, what exactly are we telling the world? That we are comfortable being represented by someone whose entire public profile is built on controversy and deception. So before you argue that Reno is not a liar, let's remember the same Reno once called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a drug baron. So if suddenly we are expected to believe that Reno is now an honest man, then by the same logic, everything he said about Tinubu is true. Now let's talk about the backward growth syndrome. Anything to stay in government, anything to avoid going to jail. We've seen people who've ruled entire states like Ifeanyi Okwanyi, Okezie Ikpeazu, now stepping down into ambassadorial postings. It's like a PhD holder going back to do masters. And here is the bigger problem. A large number of these nominees are non-career diplomats. Nigerians have trained, tested, disciplined professionals in foreign service, people who understand diplomacy, people who understand international law. But instead of elevating them, the government sidelines them to reward political loyalists. And here is the downside because non-career ambassadors often lack diplomatic skills. They do not understand global power dynamics. And of course, they will turn embassies into political retirement homes. At the end of the day, this is what hurts the most. When countries look at us Nigerians and say, Nigerians are criminals, this is where it starts. It starts from the people your government chooses as global representatives. Because if your ambassadors carry scandal, allegations, and controversies on their shoulders, the world assumes the entire nation now behaves the same way. It's the truth at the time. Take care and have a nice day.